welcome back to another episode of Fox Sports Lab NRL. Round 7 is upon us. There is so much to get through. Josh Morris is alongside me as always. Josh, how's your week?
Yeah, good, Eloise. And what a round six we had, a couple of golden point games. So we may even see one or two this weekend. I have a feeling that there might be some more close games coming up.
Well, we talk about close games, and I have no doubt that the Roosters and the Storm is going to be a close one. The punters can't split them. $1.90 for each of these. It really is a flip of the coin, as we like to say. The Roosters haven't defeated the Storm in Sydney since 2019. Is that anything to go by?
Yeah, that's a pretty damning stat there. The Storm have definitely had the wood over the Roosters, but I just think they're a different Roosters side. I like what they've done. They've got a big in Teddy coming back into the side. The Storm, they welcome back Nelson Asofa Solomona as well. But I really like what the Chooks have been able to do. They had a tough win up there at Newcastle. The Storm, they went to the wire with the Bulldogs. I feel like they've just been winning football games, and I feel like the Roosters, they're ready to pounce this weekend. And I've tipped them head to head, but this is one of those games that I think could go to Golden Point. I think we could see a Golden Point game here on the first game of the weekend.
Oh my goodness. After last weekend, I think we've had enough of them, but it'll be exciting if it does get to that point. Up next, we've picked the Eels taking on the Dolphins up there in Darwin. The Eels have lost their past two up there in the Northern Territory. Eels, though, were $1.43, Dolphins $2.78. No Hamiso Tabuai Fido. Is that where we can kind of see perhaps a little bit of I suppose, lack in the Dolphins team?
Yeah, you saw on the weekend against the Broncos that they looked sharp when the hammer was in their side, but when he went there, their attack just didn't look nowhere near as fluent. It didn't look nowhere near as good. I mean, Cody Nikorima did a great job, but they've got Trey Fuller coming in, and it's only his second game of NRL. He's the smaller. He's similarly built to Nikorima as well, but I just see the way that their side is at the moment. They've got too many key outs. Flegler's out, Farnworth's out, Kafusi's out, now the Hammer's out. The Eels, well, they had a good win over the Cowboys. I tipped the Cowboys last week, but the Eels, they got the job done, and it was led by their captain, Clint Gutherson. He was outstanding. He was in everything that they did good. So I think the Eels will break that curse. I think their record will change in Darwin this weekend, and I think they can win 13 plus.
That's a big call there. Hopefully the Eels get up for your betting, of course, Josh. Up next, we've got the Broncos hosting the Raiders. Broncos $1.36, short favourites here. The Raiders $3.30. I'm loving what the Raiders are doing this at the moment. I mean, they were challenged by the Titans. They held strong. They've got so much youth in that back line, so much strength and power. I mean, I think it's good money to put behind the Raiders.
Yeah, I actually like that value as well. $3.30. The Raiders have won four of their last six against Broncos, so they do trouble them. Whilst the Raiders had that golden point win over the Titans, they got out to a good lead and then kind of put the brakes on. So they won't be doing that again this weekend. You can assure that with what Ricky will be telling them. For me, the Broncos. They look disjointed a little bit without Adam Reynolds. The kicking game suffered a little bit, and Reece Walsh, although he was good, he still had a lot of errors in him. If he gives up the same amount of errors, or if the Broncos give up the same amount of errors for that matter, the Raiders are a team that can make you pay. Their forward pack is still outstanding, and like you said, they're young outside backs. They're very, very good to watch at the moment. So this one could be a lot closer than people think. I am tipping the Broncos, but I think they may only just win this one as well. This is another one that can be a very close game. So if you're looking at taking the Raiders with a head start, that might be the bet of the weekend.
Yeah, that could just be it. Well, up next, we've got the Sharks hosting the Cowboys. Sharks $1.67, Cowboys $2.20. The Sharks, they've got a good strike rate against the Cowboys.
Yeah, they do, and they've got Braden Hamlin Ueli coming back in. That's a massive inclusion. We've been talking about their forward pack just lacking a bit of punch. He'll bring that in spades. And also Sam Stonestreet makes his debut with Sione Katoa coming out. With the Cowboys, Valame comes in for Murray Tuolangi. That's a bit of a loss there. Yeah, he's a representative winger. But yeah, I like the Sharks at PointsBet in this one. They've won their 10 of their last 11 versus the Cowboys, and They've won their last four of their last 5 at PointsBet. For a try scorer, Ronaldo Mulatalo, he just loves scoring tries at PointsBet. He's got 30 tries in 27 games. He just loves scoring in front of the Sharkies fans. The Cowboys, they were a bit disappointing last weekend. And the Sharkies, well, they did what they needed to against South, but I think they've got another level in them at home, so I'm tipping the Sharkies in that one.
And anytime try scorer Ronaldo Mulatalo?
Yes, I think that's a safe bet, that one, Eloise.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go through the rest of the round. Dragons taking on the Warriors. I'm not really sure which way to go in this one. We've seen, positive signs from both teams across the season. I think Warriors probably a little bit stronger. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think the Warriors, they were a bit shell-shocked in the first half last weekend against Manly, but they showed their class to come back and get themselves back into that game and come away with a point. So I think they would have been very happy with that. Jack Bird is out for the Dragons. Christian Tuipulotu comes in. Jazz Tavaga's out, but Adam Pomby comes in as well. I think the Warriors will be too strong in this one, and they'll get the job done against the Dragons, even at Wynn Stadium.
Well, we're heading out to the Central West for the next one. Of course, the West Tigers are taking on the Panthers out there in Bathurst. If we just cast our minds back to this time last year, the West Tigers caused an upset, and there's every chance they can do it again.
Yeah, there is every chance. The Panthers are fresh off the bye and they wanted to start this match fast. I think the good thing for the Panthers is, though, they've had the weekend off. They've been able to work on those combinations in the halves with Schneider and Luai. Scott Sorensen comes back in, but for the Tigers, they get back Galvin. Brent Naden comes into the side and John Bateman's back from his concussion. So they got two pretty strong sides there, but I think the Panthers, they'll remember what happened last year. I think they'll be ready to go, and I think we'll see a good win from the Panthers there.
Up next, the Titans, Seabus Stadium, hosting the Seagulls. Des Hasler comes up against his former team. We know everything that's the background surrounding this off the field. The Titans are still searching for their first win. They showed that they do have the might and the strength to not back down after what they did against the Raiders. I could see an upset here. Do you agree?
Yes, we could see. They're getting closer every week, aren't they? They only just missed by a point on the weekend. I think they looked better when Brimson was in the halves. So Philip Sami goes back to fullback with Jaden Campbell out. But for Manly, they've got some big inclusions. Matt Lodge comes in to start his first game. Ruben Garrick's in, Nathan Brown and Jason Saab. So pretty much a full-strength side for Manly there. I think Manly will win, but I think that Golden Point victory may have drained them a little bit. So if they don't start fast, well, the Titans, they'll be ready to play, and they could potentially get an upset in this game. So I've tipped Manly, but the Titans, they're due for a win.
They are due for a win indeed. Okay, lastly, to round it out, the Bulldogs are taking on the Knights. The Bulldogs obviously at home in this one. What do you like about this matchup?
Yeah, well, in this matchup last year, if you remember, the Knights absolutely posted a score on the Bulldogs, and I think if I'm Cameron Ciraldo, I'm just reminding the boys of that this week, and I think we'll see a completely different Bulldog side. Look, they took the Storm to the wire down there in Melbourne, which is very good. For the Knights, they just went down to the Roosters, obviously. Kalen Ponga, we'll see if that injury is still affecting him. I don't think it will. But I've bought a Bulldog. We've got a little Bulldog this week. So I'm tipping that's an omen bet, and I'm going for the Doggies this week as well.
Oh, that's so cute. What a great way to round out this week. Round 7, of course, the Bunnies have got the bye. So happy that you guys have got a Bulldog, and let's put our money behind them with that little puppy to your family. Josh Morris, thanks so much for your time as always. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Eloise. Have a good weekend.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.